My name is Emma. I'm 39 years old, and until recently, I believed I had everything I ever needed. A quiet home, a loving family, a simple life that felt peaceful. My husband, Daniel, he's 42. We've been married for 15 years. 15 years of love, comfort, and partnership. And our son, Liam, he's 13. My sweet boy who brought light into every room he entered. We're never rich. We didn't travel the world or live in a fancy house, but we had laughter, warm dinners, movie nights, silly jokes, and a kind of happiness people spend their whole lives searching for. For a long time, I thought that was enough. But life doesn't announce the storms before they arrive. Sometimes they just break through the door and shatter everything you thought was safe. It started with small things, little changes I tried to ignore. A late night here, a missed dinner there, a coldness in Daniel's voice I couldn't explain. I didn't want to believe anything was wrong, not in my marriage, not in the family I cherished so deeply. But deep down, something inside me whispered, "Emma, something is coming." And then the day came. The day my simple life broke apart. It was a Thursday evening. One of those gray, quiet evenings when the world feels slow. Liam was upstairs finishing his homework. I was in the kitchen making dinner, stirring the pot without really thinking. Then I heard the front door open. Daniel walked in, but he didn't greet me the way he used to. No smile, no kiss on the forehead, just a heavy sigh, like the weight of the world was on his shoulders. "You're late again. Everything okay?" "Yeah, just work." But his voice, it didn't sound like him. It sounded like a stranger wearing my husband's skin. For days, I told myself it was stress, deadlines, responsibilities, maybe even exhaustion. But then the nights out grew longer, the conversations grew shorter, and the distance became something I could feel, even when he sat beside me. Late night, Emma alone on the couch. One night, after Daniel said he needed to work late again, I sat in the dark living room. Only the small lamp beside me lit the room. My heart felt heavy, like it knew something my mind refused to see. What's happening to us? A million questions filled my head, but one fear screamed louder than all the others. Was I losing my husband? The next day, everything changed. Daniel left his phone on the kitchen counter before heading to take a shower, something he never did. The screen kept lighting up, message after message after message. I tried to ignore it, I swear I did. But then, I saw a name. A woman's name. My heart stopped. My hands shook. I picked up the phone, slowly, as if time itself had become too heavy to move. What I saw next, it shattered everything. Messages filled with sweet words, affection, promises, not written for me. "Daniel, no, please, no." Daniel walked into the kitchen just as the phone slipped from my hands. He froze. "Emma, I can explain." "You lied to me, to our family, to Liam." "I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen." The world around me felt like it was collapsing, walls closing in, air disappearing. My simple, happy life, the life I had loved, had broken, right there in our kitchen. I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know how to breathe, how to stand, how to think. All I knew was this: my story wasn't over, and neither was the pain. I stood in the kitchen, staring at the man I once trusted with every piece of my heart. Daniel, my husband of 15 years, the father of my child. And yet, in that moment, he felt like a stranger. Emma, please, can we sit? Can we talk? I wanted to scream, to cry, to break every memory we ever shared. But instead, I stood there, frozen. Talk? Daniel, there's nothing left to talk about. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake. I never wanted to hurt you, I swear. Emma, how many times had I heard him say, I love you? How many mornings had I woken up beside him, believing we were a team? Now those memories felt like shattered glass cutting through my chest. Suddenly, Liam walked downstairs. His eyes moved from me to Daniel. He could feel the tension. Children always do. Mom? Dad? Are you fighting? I wiped my tears quickly, trying to hide the pain I didn't want him to see. It's okay, sweetheart. Everything's okay. But it wasn't, and he knew it. Dad? Why does Mom look sad? Daniel's face fell. He couldn't look at his own son. That was the moment I realized. This wasn't just about me and Daniel. This was about Liam too. Our choices, our mistakes, our broken promises. They didn't just belong to us. They belonged to him as well. And I needed to protect him, even if it meant breaking my own heart even further. Later that night, Emma, alone in the bedroom. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at a photograph on the nightstand. A picture of us on our wedding day. We looked so young, so hopeful, so unaware of how fragile love can be. I wanted to rewind time, to go back to the days when everything felt easy, when Daniel looked at me like I was the only woman in the world. But life doesn't work that way. And happiness? Sometimes it slips through your fingers quietly, without warning. Emma, please, can I come in? I didn't answer. He walked in anyway. His eyes were swollen, red. I had never seen him cry like that. I ended it. It's over. I want our family back. Silence filled the room. I stared at him, my heart torn between love and pain. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. I'll do anything. Therapy, counseling, whatever you need. Just don't give up on us. I didn't answer him that night. And honestly, I didn't know the answer myself. Love doesn't disappear in one moment. But neither does betrayal. I needed time, space, and courage. Courage to stay, or courage to walk away. Either choice would hurt. But the next chapter of my life, my story, had to begin with one truth. I deserved honesty. I deserved peace. I deserved more. And so, that night, I made a promise to myself. No matter what happened next, whether our family healed or fell apart, I would not lose myself again. My journey wasn't ending. It was just beginning. The days after Daniel's confession felt like walking through fog. Heavy, confusing, and full of questions I didn't know how to answer. But for the first time in a long time, I wasn't afraid to face the truth. I started taking walks every morning, just me, the open sky, and the quiet sound of my own breathing. Sometimes healing begins in silence. I thought about Liam, about his gentle heart, about the kind of mother he needed me to be. Strong, calm, honest. I thought about Daniel, too, about the man he used to be, and the man he had become. And I thought about myself, the woman who had sacrificed so much for everyone else that she forgot to take care of the person in the mirror. One evening, when the sun was setting, we sat together on the porch. No yelling, no anger, just two people, exhausted and bruised by reality. Emma, I'm ready to do the work. Therapy, counseling, anything. I want our family back. I looked at him for a long moment. I know you're sorry, Daniel, and I believe you want to change. But for me, healing isn't a switch. It's a journey. He nodded quietly, tears in his eyes. We didn't magically fix everything. We didn't pretend it never happened. Instead, we made a promise to rebuild, slowly, honestly, patiently, one day at a time. Daniel attending therapy alone, Emma attending her own sessions. Some days were heavy, some days we cried, some days we found small moments of hope again. And Liam, he saw us trying, he saw us growing, and that mattered. A year passed. We weren't perfect, but we weren't broken anymore either. Daniel worked hard to earn back my trust. He showed consistency, honesty, patience. And me? I found my strength again, a strength I didn't know I had. I learned that loving someone doesn't mean losing yourself. I learned that forgiveness doesn't happen fast, but it is possible. And slowly, unexpectedly, we found our way back to each other. My simple life did break apart, but piece by piece, with time, honesty, and courage, we built something new, something stronger, something real. Not a perfect family, but a healing one. And sometimes, that's more beautiful than perfect. The end. Thank you for listening to my story. If you like my story, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.